Zara Williams sold flowers outside the Kang Plaza Hotel every day after school. 9 years old, invisible to the wealthy guests, just another street kid trying to survive. Nobody knew she spoke Russian. Her mother, gone 2 years now, had been from Moscow, had taught her the language before the accident that took both parents. Now it was just Zara and her grandmother, struggling, barely making rent. So Zara sold flowers and watched and listened. She'd seen the hotel's owner exactly twice. Junho Kong, young, handsome, cold, the kind of man who looked through people like her as if they didn't exist. His security guards spoke Russian sometimes, thought no one understood. But Zara understood. And at 5:47 p.m. on a Tuesday, she heard 3 words that made her blood run cold. When he opens the door. She looked at the black car waiting at the curb, looked at the guards smirking, and knew someone was about to die. 5:30 p.m., 17 minutes before Junho Kang stood in his penthouse office looking down at the city he'd conquered. 34 years old, self-made, ruthless. He'd built an empire through calculated risks and zero sentiment. People were tools, emotions were weaknesses. Trust was a luxury he couldn't afford. His phone buzzed. Chen, his driver. "Car ready, sir." Junho checked his watch. 5:31 p.m., right on schedule. He prided himself on precision. Predictability meant control. Every day, same routine. Leave office at 5:50, enter car at 6 o'clock. Arrive home at 6:15. No deviation, no weakness. His security chief, Victor, appeared in the doorway. "Sir, tomorrow's meeting with the Shanghai investors? Handled." Junho didn't look up. "Is there anything else?" "No, sir." "Then stop wasting my time." Victor's jaw tightened, but he left without another word. Good. Junho had no patience for incompetence, or feelings, or anything that interfered with efficiency. He gathered his briefcase. 17 minutes until departure. Outside on the street corner, life operated at a different frequency. Zara held up another flower to a passing businessman. "Fresh roses, sir? Only $3. The man didn't even slow down. She'd been here since 3:30. Sold 4 flowers, $12. Enough for dinner. Not enough for the electric bill Grandma was worried about. Her feet hurt. Her stomach growled. But she smiled at the next passerby. "Beautiful roses, ma'am?" Ignored. She was used to it. 9 years old, black, as poor, she might as well be invisible. But invisible meant people didn't watch what they said around her. Invisible meant she heard things. Like now. Victor and 2 other security guards stood near the hotel entrance, smoking. Speaking Russian. Most people would hear foreign words and tune out. Zara heard her mother's language. "Ready at 6 exactly?" Victor was saying. "When he opens the door, it will..." He made an explosive gesture with his hands. The other guards laughed. Zara's blood went cold. She looked at the sleek black car parked at the curb. The car Junho Kang entered every single day at exactly 6 p.m. The car these men were talking about. Her hands started shaking. They were going to hurt someone, maybe end someone. And she was the only person who understood what they'd just said. A 9-year-old girl is the only one who knows about an assassination plot? Drop a heart if you're already stressed. Zara speaks Russian because of her late mother and just overheard the guards planning to end her boss when he opens the door. She's a child selling flowers to survive, and now she has 17 minutes to warn a man who doesn't even see her. Hit that like button and subscribe to Korean Mafia Tales, because Junho has no idea his own security team is plotting against him, and this invisible little girl is his only hope. Time is running out. 5:35 p.m., 15 minutes before Zara's mind raced. She had to warn someone, but who? The guards were the bad guys. The hotel staff wouldn't believe a street kid. And Junho Kang himself? She'd seen him exactly twice. Both times. See wrong happening. Staying silent makes see wrong happening. Staying silent makes you part of it. Zara looked at her remaining flowers, looked at the hotel entrance, looked at the black car. She had 15 minutes. Victor and the guards had moved inside, still talking. Zara edged closer to the entrance, pretending to arrange her flowers. Timed perfectly, one guard was saying in Russian. The device is under the driver's seat, remote detonation. When he's inside, we activate it from across the street. And if he survives, another asked, we have the backup plan. Victor patted something under his jacket. Zara's stomach turned. These weren't just bad people, they were professionals, organized, ready for anything. And she was 9 years old with a basket of flowers. She needed help. Chen, the driver, was standing by the car. He looked normal, kind even. Not like the Russian guards. Zara approached carefully. Excuse me, sir? Chen glanced down, surprised anyone was talking to him. Yes? Do you speak Russian? No. Why? The guards, they were just... She stopped. How could she explain without sounding crazy? They were what? Chen's tone was patient but dismissive. Probably thought she was begging. They were talking about something bad. About the car, about... Kid, I don't have time for games. Chen turned back to the vehicle, checking something on his phone. I'm not playing. They said something about when he opens the door. Look, I'm working. If you want to sell flowers, try the tourists. He wasn't mean, just done with the conversation. Zara stepped back, heart sinking. Nobody would listen. She checked the time on the hotel's clock. 5:41 p.m. 19 minutes until Junho Kang walked out that door. 19 minutes until he climbed into a car that would hurt him, and she was the only person who knew. Her hands were shaking so hard she almost dropped her flower basket. What could one invisible little girl possibly do against trained guards with weapons and plans? But then she remembered her mother. Her brave, beautiful mother who'd fled Russia for a better life. Who'd taught Zara to be strong. You are small, my little one, but you are fierce. Never forget that. Zara took a deep breath. Okay. If the adults wouldn't listen, she'd have to make them listen. 5:47 p.m., 13 minutes before Zara positioned herself near the hotel entrance. She'd never been inside. Security always shooed street vendors away, but today she had to try. She walked through the revolving door like she belonged there. Immediately, a security guard, not one of the Russian conspirators, just regular hotel security, stepped in front of her. No soliciting. I need to talk to Mr. Kang. It's important. The guard actually laughed. Mr. Kang doesn't take meetings with... He gestured at her flower basket, her worn shoes. Anyone who walks in off the street. But it's about his safety. Out now, before I call the authorities. Zara's eyes stung, but she wouldn't cry. Please, someone's going to hurt him. I said out. A hand gripped her shoulder. Not gently. The guard was escorting her back to the doors. Wait! The guards, the Russian ones. They're planning something. But she was already being pushed outside. The door closed behind her. 5:49 p.m. 11 minutes. Zara wanted to scream, wanted to cry, wanted to run home and hide and pretend she'd never heard anything. But she couldn't. She looked up at the building. Junho Kang was up there somewhere. Completely unaware that in 11 minutes, he'd walk to a car that would take everything from him. Think, Zara, think. The guards were watching the street. Victor was probably inside, waiting. Chen wouldn't listen. Hotel security had thrown her out. She couldn't get to Junho Kang before he left the building, but she could get to him when he walked out. She'd have to be loud, impossible to ignore, brave enough to look crazy if that's what it took. And if the Russian guards realized she understood them? If they decided she was a threat? Zara pushed that thought away. 5:52 p.m. She positioned herself right by the door, where he'd have to walk past her, where she'd have exactly one chance to make him listen. Her whole body was shaking, But she was her mother's daughter?